Okay, so we're part of this program here at Stanford with 500 startups, mostly for investors. And we have a very, very broad and very international group coming from 14 different countries. You want to tell? You're coming from Middle East. You want to tell us where you've been and what's your story with entrepreneurship and startup has been so far?
So my name is Ambar Amleh. I'm the co-founder and chief operating officer for Ibtikar Fund. Ibtikar means innovation in Arabic. We are a very early stage startup fund. We invest in startups at the earliest stages, from partnering with accelerators in the West Bank and Gaza, and then providing subsequent rounds of funding to those same companies. Companies can also come to us directly for a bit. They've shown some traction, and they can get more larger investments
from your experience, from what we've been seeing here. Do we have some piece of advice to share with startups listening to us?
So, one of the biggest things that I've noticed is that sometimes people get too attached to their idea, and they don't know sort of when to give up.
All right, yeah.
And I think it's important to know that. Yes, there has to be a certain level of passion, but when you've gone to every investor in the country and they've all said no, that's a signal, right? And if you're not pivoting, if you can't find that right fit, then it's time to sort of find a different idea, or maybe go try something else. Go work in a different startup, and you'll find an idea, right?
Or sometimes what I found is people get too attached to their solution, and I would relate that to a saying that I've seen. Fall in love with the problem, don't fall in love with your solution.
Exactly.
Because the problem might be worthwhile, but maybe the way you attack it is not the right one.
Right.
So find another solution to the same problem.
Keep trying. Also, people always come up with solutions before they understand the problem completely.
Indeed.
And
so the problem solution fit is something important. All right, there's this vision that I wanted to share of a global valley. The Silicon Valley remains the epicenter of our tech ecosystem, but now it's more widespread, right? Any developer just about anywhere in the world can have access to cloud computing, to open source software. To what degree would you agree that the opportunities are widespread, or what are the differences that we still should pay attention in our local markets?
Yeah, so I think more than ever, given technological advances, the global entrepreneurship ecosystem is evening out in the sense of opportunity, right? So with the right skills, and sort of the opportunity, right? Also, that is, I think, where the difference is. So if you have the sort of the same opportunity to get capital and to get the right expertise, it's flat.
All right.
And you can succeed. And you can go to Berlin, you can go to Silicon Valley. Nobody's going to say, oh, but he's Russian. Or, But I think the difference comes from the ecosystem that surrounds those entrepreneurs, right? So, for example, in Palestine, we lack sort of the accounting and legal and regulatory infrastructure to really support entrepreneurs.
Supporting tissue
right.
That, yeah.
And to a certain extent, capital. I mean, we're still the only fund, and there's one more that comes after us.
Yeah, compared to what we can see here on Sand Hill Road, there's like 1,000 times more capital.
Yeah, much options. Yeah. So many options. So, but I think really what differentiates, I think, an entrepreneur from a typical person, right, is that grit, right?
Yeah,
what I said before about not giving up, but it's about sort of just continuing, you're onto something and you will not stop, right? And so it's such a fine balance. I think I feel like I'm contradicting myself, but it's.
You know what? You agree with Jeff Bezos. I think I read a quote by Jeff Bezos, the CEO and founder of Amazon, who said, "Success lies in the fine balance between grit and knowing when to give up."
Yeah.
So basically, that's
good. Yeah. To quote Jeff Bezos.
All right. Well, thanks so much. Class is starting again.
Yeah,
so
we gotta go.
Thanks so much for sharing that experience with us.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was fun.
Yeah.